Hi, I'm back. So at this time, I'll be going to share with you the next topic, and this is all about webinar. And I know everyone is familiar with webinar because this is one of the platforms that we are using, especially when we attended different training programs in our department. What is a webinar? Let's first retrace the history of the webinar. When the webinar was appeared, it started at the end of 1980s. When the history of internet was its early stage, the webinar's predecessors appeared. In the middle of the 1990s, web chat and instant messaging apps were developed. In 1998, Eric R. Kerr registered the trademark webinar, owned by Intercol. In 1999, WebEx Meeting Center software was developed. And a year after, from 2000 on, more and more webinar service providers started appearing. What is a webinar? It is an online seminar that turns a presentation into a real-time conversation from anywhere in the world. Allow large groups of participants to engage in online discussions or training events and share audio, documents, or slides even when they are not in the same place as the meeting host. It also useful when the host is conducting a lecture or information session while the presenter is speaking, and they can share desktop applications and documents. Today, many webinar services offer live streaming options or the ability to record and publish it to YouTube. What are the common webinar software features? These are support for multiple presenters. There is video file sharing. There's also live chat for attendees. And you can also have screen sharing. There's also pre-record video and conference option for viewers to listen in live. And the last, calendar scheduling and invites. What are examples of apps for webinar? So these are very common. One is Google Meet, another is Zoom, and another is Microsoft Teams, and also Loom. Though there are still a lot of platforms available in the websites, but I only give to you the popular one. How to create a webinar? First, you have to choose your theme, and you have also to consider your players. So you need 3 prime players in your webinar. And who are these? First, the organizer. Second, the presenter, and the assistant. What is the role of the organizer? Of course, he is the one hosting the webinar. And the presenter is the one in charge to present all the slides comes from the invited experts, resource speakers. In the assistant, this is also very necessary because along the way, we do not know, you might experience technical problems. So your assistant, if possible, is the ICT coordinator or the one who is very good in ICT works. Second, decide on the webinar format considering the following formats. You can have single speaker, you may have interview format or moderated panel discussion or a question and answer portion. So it's up to you which of this format you are going to include in your webinar. Third, plan visual for your webinar and get your presenters camera ready. So the best webinar should feel more similar to the face-to-face experience. and require presenter to use their webcam while presenting. So as much as possible, you may have reminders before uh, going through the detail of your webinar. So there are etiquettes in conducting a webinar. So if possible, you give some basic reminders with regards to etiquette in conducting a webinar.